Audio follows video on yours and on yours. Listen to that.
Hey, test 1, 2, 1, 2. Great. Are we live? Okay, we're live. Welcome, ClawCon LA. I'm here with Adam Ludwin from here.now. Adam, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So everyone watching, they want to know what here.now is. So can you tell me about it?
Sure. It's web hosting for agents. I built it because it was super annoying every time I had something in my agent I wanted to host, I needed a URL for. I'd have to spin up a new GitHub repo, a new project on Vercel or Railway, and all I wanted was a document on a URL so I could send it out to my team or to my friends. It didn't exist. Agents are so new, so I built it, and that was about 40 days ago. And then today we crossed 100,000 sites hosted on the service. So it's off to a fun start. It's just me. It's just the power of building now solo with agents.
Awesome. So that's amazing. Congratulations on the success so far. So here.now. So how does it work? So that's a leading question because I used it today for the first time and it was fucking awesome. So I'll tell the audience basically how it works. You basically just go to here.now, you tell your Claw and the instructions, just a simple button that says copy and paste. You send it the instructions that's like, hey, set this up, install this thing. And I included an image and I was like, just upload this image. And it did it beautifully. It would like work too easy. Like it just worked. It was awesome. So how'd you get to this point? Like were you messing with other ideas around the space beforehand?
Yeah, I've been building things for many years, and in the last year I've been using agents to build different tools and projects. And I just kept running into this problem with everything I was working on where I just needed a URL for some artifact in my project. And so I built this as just another side project to help myself and friends, and it just took off faster than anything else. So now I'm just focused on it.
Sweet. And so can you tell me a little bit how you use OpenClaw or how you have agents work for you, like either daily or weekly?
Yeah, for sure. So I use OpenClaw every day. I have it set up texting me every morning with weather in my neighborhood, stuff that's relevant to my kids in their school, a few different websites that I'm tracking, as well as some one-off projects. So things like I want tickets to an event. I want reservations to a restaurant. I have things that are polling that tell me when things are basically restocked. That's my favorite kind of hobby use case. So I've always got one or two of those running as well.
Nice. Anything interesting, any scores you get from the restocks?
Scores, things I've scored. All of the things I've ever got through like a sort of sniping through a restock has been a ticket. So tee times for golf that are hard to get, or concert tickets. So I've never tried to restock a product, but always tickets. Yes.
Amazing. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, Adam, and really appreciate you sponsoring tonight's event, ClawCon LA. So thank you again.
Thanks, man.
And you're out.
Great. Hey, Fiona. How's it going? Good. Thanks so much. Yeah. Great. Likewise. So right now,
Yeah. I cut to a graphic with the live sound. So don't, if you have anything bad to say, don't say that. Yeah, exactly.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, why zoom in?
Okay, so we're here with Fiona. Fiona's going to present tonight at ClawCon LA. And Fiona, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, today I bring this Sparky Box. It's already deployed with OpenClaw in it, and it's very easy for customers to use. People just need to connect the box with the Wi-Fi and open any interface like their iPhone, their laptops, any of it, and they can just use the OpenClaw really easy.
Cool. How'd you come up with this idea?
Because my friend has a hard problem just to install the OpenClaw, and I help him solve the problem, but there's also a privacy issue with regarding to the data. So I use this box to help them save the data, and it can run 24 hours.
Cool. And so how much does something like the Sparky Box cost?
So the normal sale price is $599, but we have pre-orders recently. It's $499.
Cool. And if someone wants to buy it, where do they buy it from?
We have our website. It's called thexcloud.com, and you can just buy it online.
Cool. Thanks so much, Fiona. Excited to see your presentation.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thanks for hosting the event.
No problem. Yeah, just for now, just like.
Yeah, I'm just going to go, don't undo it yet. I'm just going to go right here and just shoot that shot. I appreciate that. There we go. So I'm just going to do this. You're good. I know my, it's okay. I mean, hey, if I, you know.
No, that's fine. It's just that I don't think you want your head to be the main highlight of this shot.
Oh, that was it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good, bro. I was just keeping it there for the sake. I didn't know it was a plug. Yeah, no, I unplugged it to switch over. Yeah. Oh, okay, got it. Oh, yeah. I just didn't want it to be on the floor or something. I'll tell you what. Are you ready? Yeah. One sec.
Okay, so we're back here with Evan. Evan, thanks so much for coming out. Can you tell everybody why you even decided to come tonight?
Making stuff with OpenClaw. I've seen the lines around the block at other events and saw us on Twitter and figured why not.
Cool. So can you tell me the first time you heard about OpenClaw? Like what were you what was appealing to you?
I'm an artist that just likes to make weird shit, and so it was a chance to make a bunch of weird stuff. I've been playing with AI for 2013, and so here was just another avenue of making something interesting.
That's awesome. In terms of like weird shit, can you give me some examples, or people who are watching, like some things that you've done with OpenClaw?
At the moment, it's a lot of exploratory stuff around Maltbook, design. I work at a design studio, so it's like trying to figure out what is the aesthetics of agent-to-agent communication, what are they talking about, what is the agent-agent economy? I think it's just going to be really interesting. So I'm kind of working in that design art space.
Got it. So you went straight for the weird.
Always. What else are you going to work for?
Have you seen other cool examples of how people are using it?
Not really, and that's actually why one of the reasons I'm here, just to be able to see, like, everybody keeps talking about their personal productivity or they run a calendar. I don't care about that. I want to see something like out there that's like 6 months from now, a year from now, not having an assistant.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you find other weird people to talk to.
I've already met quite a few weird people, yeah, so I think that's good.
Amazing. Thanks. Another one. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on your chin. Okay, and we're back here with Molly. Molly, thanks for coming out.
Yeah, of course. This is great.
So what made you come to ClawCon LA?
I have been building my own full stack agent system for finance, and I found OpenClaw through it.
Amazing. So can you tell me more about this full stack finance system? Are you like trading? Are you like trying to maximize returns? Like, talk to me. What are you doing?
Yeah, essentially it looks at technology companies on the stock market, and it analyzes them with full theses and basically distills it all the way down to what do you buy and what do you not buy, as, you know, sort of in the form of like a long-term hold hedge fund. And the idea would be to then market it eventually once it can run autonomously. So it's still in beta phase, but I utilized OpenClaw in addition to all of my code-based agents to help manage all of the other agents and communicate between them and handle memory and whatnot.
That's awesome. I'm going to ask you a personal question right now, put you on the spot. What did you name your OpenClaw?
Goose.
Goose? Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming out. Hope you have fun.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. yes. Yeah. Yeah, just just that one shot was supposed to like right away, but otherwise everything else like so when everyone's like yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm here with Parag from Emergent AI.
Emergentic AI.
Emergentic AI. We'll link to it afterwards. But talk to me. What are you going to be presenting tonight?
Well, I'll be talking a bit about my art practice, which really kind of started the whole thing. I'm an artist, founder, been working with AI almost 20 years. Built this thing called Emergentic AI. It came out of an artwork where I literally simulated myself and former romantic partners where we played out our past conflicts. I'll talk a little bit more about that, as well as a historical simulation of the Mughal Empire, where all the characters are built as agents. And now I built a platform to enable other designers, storytellers, writers to craft stories piloted by language agents and co-create with agents.
That's awesome. In terms of on the personal AI side, how are you using agents?
Wow, like pretty much in every aspect I can think of. There's a lot of augmentation, like speeding up ideation. Basically, I imagine who is the most intelligent person I could talk to right now to help me with the problem I have, and then I have them as an agent.
Cool. Do you have an example that comes to mind?
Yeah, so I recently worked on a project for a client. It was a shoe company, and I needed to talk to basically a famous streetwear designer because I don't have as much experience in that. So I brought in Virgil Abloh, and it's something you can do on Emergentic AI. You can basically craft an agent out of anybody, including a Wikipedia page. And so now I'm just talking to Virgil Abloh, and he's helping me ideate for the pitch for the client, and it was really helpful.
Cool. Well, thanks so much. Is anything you're looking forward to tonight?
Looking to see what other people are thinking about in this space. Yeah, just meeting the community.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming out. Looking forward to seeing you present.
Thank you so much for hosting us.
The microphone.
All right.
Comfortable, but same way itself. And your voice and Okay, we're here with another presenter tonight, Lex. Lex, tell me about what you're presenting.
I'm presenting a creative workflow, right? So it's using OpenClaw for specifically high-end creative. So Unreal Engine, UEFN, Roblox, and a lot of other creative like apps like Photoshop, stuff like that. It's really one workflow that works for all of it.
Cool. And how'd you get started with OpenClaw?
I've always been creating agents since, for decades. And I'm just the thrill, the momentum behind OpenClaw has just brought a lot of that forward, right? Just enabling agents with kind of AI backends makes it a lot more fun, right? As opposed to creating it from scratch.
Nice. And so, in terms of when was like the wow moment, the wow factor for you for OpenClaw?
Oh, dude, it was actually the community, right? What you see like the OpenClaw meetups, this con right here, the ClawCon that's what really proves it. Because software is great, working on it is great. Obviously the GitHub is super popular, but when you see a turnout like this in LA, bro, that's when you know this right here is the turning point.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming out. Excited to see your presentation.
Beautiful. Thank you for making this happen, man. This is history in the making. Thank you, brother.
Awesome. Great.
Rock and roll. What a great production.
Yeah, thanks.
Not all of them. My filming partner, Nature, she's one of the most important one. I'm mixing.
Can be like over here. Okay, we're here with John. I haven't seen John in forever. John hit me up. He was like, dude, I'm coming out. I was like, amazing. So, John, welcome.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here. What an incredible crowd. I was expecting like a small TV in a small room, but this is like absolutely massive and so amazing.
Well, thanks so much. Really appreciate you coming out. I got a question for you. Talk to me about Claw. Like, how are you using OpenClaw? What are you doing with it? Like, I have no idea.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm the co-founder of several like awesome companies. One of them is a company called Reading Rhythms, where we host reading parties in a bunch of different amazing cities all over the world. We've hosted like 600 events to date, and what I've done in the last few months is embed my Claw deeply into the intelligence layer of the organization, where now it essentially will write surveys for all of our users, turn those into pull requests, and actually like iterate on our app code all on like an automated cycle, which has been so incredible for us to ship amazing product to people like all around the world.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And then where are the things that are like it messes up pretty bad? Let's be honest.
I mean, cron jobs fail, definitely. That seems to be a consistent issue sometime, but I actually built like my own kind of cron system, which has been more reliable than that, but yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, one of my favorite things about cron jobs I heard someone say was Nat Eliason said, he was like, when you set up a cron job, you got to set 3 cron jobs. So the first one's set, then the second one checks the first one's working, and the third one checks the second's working.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's a really like exciting and fun process though, like just to be tinkering. It kind of like reminds me of the days of like early Minecraft, and I was watching Notch like create it in like a live kind of context on X, and now like I have the same insatiable like exciting feeling that I had then that like as I do now, which is like just really an amazing feeling again.
That's awesome. And what made you come out here tonight?
Well, I'm happy to support you, and I love that you created this. I'm also just like a huge fan of open source projects around the world. I think it's incredible to democratize access to really powerful tools and software. And I just, as a nerd, I want to meet more nerds, so we're doing that.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Hi, my name's Josh.
Comfortably, like to your face.
Can we do it like this?
Okay, what's up? I'm here with
Trevor McFedries.
Trevor's here, co-host of ClawCon LA. Trevor, talk to me about Claws. Why are you even here?
I'm here because I'm one of those embittered founders who scaled a big team and didn't like dealing with people and gets back. I got to go back to my roots, just building shit. And so the fun part for me has been extending Claws and also I don't want to do, whether it's marketing, research, and I can just hack on stuff and build cool products.
That's awesome. Cool. Can you tell me about some cool stuff you mess with?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 40 years old and have a newborn, and keeping up to speed on what's happening on all the socials isn't really built for me, but it's been fun just standing up little claws that can go out and do research, ship TikTok slideshows, go out and engage with folks on X and do things that can bring compelling ideas to me, but also send my compelling ideas out to the right places, which is fun. Beyond that, the family stuff is really cool. It's just simple, getting groceries, making meals, taking a load off the wife.
That's awesome. So you're ordering directly, you're telling your Claw to order stuff for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying hey, we have a newborn, we want to eat healthy, I am pescatarian, my wife eats this, can you structure a little a grocery list, hit Instacart, make that happen. Real basic stuff, but again, when you're scrambling to feed a child every 2.5 hours, lifesaver.
Yo, that's amazing. You talked to a bunch of people here tonight. Tell me who's in the audience today?
Yeah, I mean, what's fun is, people think of LA as being this kind of Hollywood media town. There's a lot of great tech talent, a lot of great AI people. We were doing Brud and Little Michaela out of downtown, and so we had a lot of AI researchers, adjacent folks who were in the building. My buddy Armando is here, who had a really cool project called Artie. They were doing kind of virtual characters that has some kind of interesting AI elements. We got Rayhan, a lot of the kind of FWB crew, which is here. A lot of great great like traditional film, TV, and music people that are trying to figure out how to extend what they do because it's tough times. And so you might be saving Hollywood.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we're here to like show off cool demos, cool stuff, open people's eyes of like what's possible. Like, you know, I don't order groceries, but maybe I'm going to start ordering groceries now.
Listen, we all got to eat all over the world, so you can figure it out. Try to think of anyone else who's doing some really impressive shit in Los Angeles. I have seen people doing some cool stuff around finding underutilized spaces, using claws to go out and find spaces. You know, you go to downtown LA, there's all these vacant spaces. Go to public records, find people, engage them, and see if they can do events, see if they can host artists there. And so there's lots of alpha in artists not fighting this stuff because it's new and scary, but engaging with it and seeing how they can better utilize it to make great shit, find cool spaces, engage in person, and make stuff that makes life worth living.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again for co-hosting ClawCon LA. Really appreciate it.
Claw!
first one of these we did, I had 2 hardboiled eggs at 10 a.m. and got home at midnight. Like, it was not my choice. Yeah, it cuts midnight going down to New York City, packing all my bags. I don't want to spend $50 to go a half a mile. Yeah.
Okay, everybody, let's find seats. We're going to start in like 10 minutes, 7 minutes. So make your way to the front, get it, grab a seat, grab a beverage. Let's do it.
Supersonic.
up front, grab a seat.
Fresh battery, sure is.
If your name is Dave Government and if there's anything up, come up in front. So there's a bunch of empty seats up here in the front rows and in the middle over here. If there's an empty seat next to you, can you scoot over to clear, to like make sure it's visible for people to find the seats? Amazing, amazing. Let's do it, let's do it. Grab this mic. Josh, we good?
Check.
Check 1, 2. LA, what up? Welcome. Hey. Woo! Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Thanks to co-host Trevor, Jonathan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. Los Angeles, can I hear you make some noise?
Woo-hoo!
People don't think of LA as a technology town, but my brother in Christ, I'm telling you, LA is a technology town. Let's go. We got claws out. We got claws on our heads, claws on our hands. We're looking very good. When Michael asked me to do this, I thought it would be a distinct honor because I have so many friends across media, technology, sports, all kinds of wellness that are using claws to better their lives. If that's you, can you raise your hand? Look at this audience engagement. We love to see it. And if you're here to learn and figure out more, you got a lot of great presentations coming your way. My name is Trevor. Thank you very much for being here, LA. You've made me very proud. I'll hand it off to this beautiful gentleman.
Sure, I don't have too much to add, but just want to say I think we all hope and wish that LA had more events like this and more tech. So thank you so much for Galper for bringing ClawCon to LA. And thank you, Trevor, my co-host, for helping organize this. And thank you for all of you for showing up to support this. I hope we deliver on the promise. Thank you.
Woo, thank you.
Great. So we're going to start with some backgrounds. Let's see. Okay, so everybody, I don't know, can we get the presenting? Okay, so everyone's here to figure out like what's going on. I'm assuming they want to take the claw for a ride. Like some people already are riding a claw. Some people have, multiple claws. Someone told me he's like, I have an orchestration of like 8 claws, which I don't know how they do, but cool. Anyway, but the thing is that you got to hold on real tight because you might think that you already missed the boat, but can I tell you it's like 4 months, not even, of this project. So you're early, like you're in this room, you're early, but you gotta hang on tight. And that's kind of why we're having these events, is really for people to meet in person and to talk about like, shit doesn't work, shit works, like this is what I've figured out, this is what I didn't. And so congratulations, everyone in this room, you're now Claw friends. You can talk about Claw without it being weird, because like, telling your significant other, your cousin, and they're like, what's a claw? Like, why are you wearing like claw headbands? Anyway, so one of the things that I want to figure out is like, how are people actually using OpenClaw? So if you saw those cool posters, snap this survey, and if you fill it out before the end of the evening, I'll duck, you'll get a chance to go home with one of those cool posters. Shout out to Nomad Studios for that, the artwork. It's awesome. So yeah, so you can take the photos, there's surveys around. So ClawCon, what is ClawCon? So ClawCon is an open gathering. As you can tell, when you signed up, no one asked you for a GitHub link or a LinkedIn profile. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know, the real thing is like you're here because you're interested in this stuff. You're interested in what is personal AI, what is all these things. So I kind of think of it as a festival for personal AI. Like that's what we're trying to do, have people to come together, talk about this future that is just getting started. But this is how it started. I was kind of hosting these Claude Code meetups in San Francisco and started using ClaudeBot at the time, posted into the Discord when it was opened up, and was like, hey, I was been hosting these events. Next one's going to be a ClaudeBot event. And Peter was like, Peter Steinberger was like, oh, if you host it in the first week of February, I'm totally down. And I was like, okay, great, we're going to do it, found a spot. And we thought like 10, 20 people would show up because the Discord was tiny at the time. We ended up having 700 people show up. It was kind of nuts. Then afterwards, I was like, oh, that was fun. Like the energy in the room was nuts. And I posted on X, where should we have this next? And a bunch of people raised their hand all across the world. And we've already had it in a bunch of places. And tonight, the first one is in LA. So shout out to everyone coming out to the first ClawCon in LA. And so if you want to have it anywhere around the world, you can check it out, claw-con.com. And so what are we trying to do here? We're trying to support global chapters to spin up of people who are interested in personal AI. We're supporting the communities with getting sponsors for these events, developer resources, as well as supporting open source grants. So we are sponsoring people's tokens because now you got to pay API for personality. And so if you need tokens, hit me up. And so the idea is like we're trying to fund this new movement around personal AI. And so how do we do that? We got sponsors. Shout out to Hostinger. So Hostinger offers one-click solution for hosting your OpenClaw. And tonight, you take that QR code. We got a bunch of QR codes tonight, so get your phones ready. So QR code, you got 30% off your OpenClaw hosting. Everyone take a photo? Great. And then shout out to here.now. Adam Ludwin's like, dude, I got to support the LA community, and he came through. I tried it today. You might have seen it in the Luma. It's freaking awesome. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's like the first time in my agent actually created an account for something, which was kind of awesome. And so he's going to talk about it first, but I wanted to give him a shout out because it's pretty sweet. And he's sponsored tonight, so thank you. And then if you want to join the ClawCon community that's around the world, once again, this is our last QR code. It's the Telegram where you can join other people around the world who've attended ClawCons and talk about things that are working, things that are not working, things that you're finding, or things you want to shill. I won't tell. A duck. Ugh. And so without further ado, Adam Ludwin. Okay. So show of hands, how many people have an OpenClaw that they spoke to today? How many people have an OpenClaw that's kind of broken and they can't talk to it today? Yeah. I spent like an hour trying to update to use here.now. I was like, man, why isn't it working? He was like, oh, you got to use Codex 5.2. Doesn't work with this. And I was like, I don't have Codex 5.2. Why are you asking me that? And so I got it working. Took me, I don't know, about 40 minutes while I was waiting at the airport. And so it worked, but I got to try here.now. And let's see. There we go. Adam. Take it away.
Thanks, Michael. Hello. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Good? Is the internet fun again? Yes, that's why we're here, right? The internet is fun again. It's been at least 10 years, I think, since the internet was really fun, maybe 20. Yeah. So, yes, I'm going to tell you about my startup, but what I'm really going to do is give away Apple products right now from the stage. So, yes. So I have a MacBook Neo. Has anyone seen this yet? And I have the AirPods Max. Yeah. So when I get off the stage in like 6 minutes, these are going to be with 2 of you. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, again, my name is Adam. I'm the founder of a little service called here.now, which I started 45 days ago, and I'm going to tell you about it. But before I do, show of hands, how many people right now, either on your phone or a laptop if you have it, can access an agent like an OpenClaw? Okay. I actually want you to stop paying attention to me and open your phone, open your laptop, go to your agent. It's OpenClaw is fine, Codex, Cursor, whatever is on your phone, and go to here.now in your browser. And there's a big button that says copy setup instructions for agent. Paste that into OpenClaw or Codex, Cloud Code through Telegram, whatever you've got going on. And that's going to install the here.now skill to your agent, so your agent knows now how to use here.now. That's what Michael was just referring to. And the first person who does that and gets a site live on here.now, meaning you say, hey, agent, quickly make me a Hello World site, whatever you want. You choose what you want the site to be. It doesn't matter. And you get back a URL, just shout and interrupt my presentation. And if you're the first person to do that, you will get the MacBook Neo. Does that make sense? Okay. So, what did you say? Oh, okay. Man. Hecklers at the Comedy Cellar, yes, but at ClawCon? All right. So, yeah, just interrupt me like the gentleman did, but with a URL, and I'll check. And did you really? What's the URL? Yearly-bonnet. How do you spell bonnet?
B-O-N-N-E-T -r7ya.here.now.
Is that you? What's your name? What is it? Sachit, congratulations. I'll actually let you choose. Do you want the Neo or do you want the AirPods Max? The Neo. All right, congrats. It's in the official Apple color of light lobster for you. So, yeah. Okay, like any good magic show, do I know you? Sachit, do you know me? Did we ever meet before? Are you a plant? Okay, so, I mean, that's kind of the pitch. You know, it's like really, really fast to go from not knowing about this service to having something you built with your agent live on a URL. It's faster, what he just did, than pushing to GitHub to build something on Vercel, et cetera. So that's really the gist of it. And I can do the rest really quickly since I think that explained it. But I started this, again, like 45 days ago because I just wanted a URL. I just wanted a URL for a thing I was building in my agent, and I didn't want to start a new GitHub repo. I didn't want to start a new project on Vercel. And I wanted it for, in that case, it was just for like a JSON document, but there are a whole long tail of things that we're now building with our agents that we maybe used to use other tools for. Personal websites, itineraries, presentations. This presentation you're seeing is itself just a link on here.now, right? I built it with my agent last night, and I just published it to here.now. So we've got this whole world of long tail artifacts that folks in this room already understand are going to be created with agents, but I think over the next year, we're going to have a lot more folks understanding that. So how it works, you just, like you saw, you just tell your agent to publish to here.now. You don't even need to copy the setup instructions. If you just tell the agent, I want to use here.now, because the name is the URL, it'll just work, and then it's online. As of around noon today, we crossed 100,000 sites. So that's cool, yeah. And we're going to do one more demo live before I go, because we have to give away this still, and I promised we would do that. So here's what I did. Yeah, that's an email. I have a fresh OpenClaw running here. Let's see if it's alive. Hi. Okay, great. So this is, by the way, side pitch. There's a website called seafloor.bot where you can just spin up an OpenClaw for free. But yeah, so I'm here, and it doesn't know about here.now yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy the setup instructions right here, like I showed you before, and paste them. Okay, and while it's doing that, I'm going to go back and get the prompt for what I want to build. So I'm going to build a little game that takes the names of everyone in the audience, and it randomly picks one, and the winner will get this. And I have everyone's name because they were leaked on the ClawCon website. So unfortunately, if you only put a single name, I deleted you from the list. So you had to put your first and last name because there were too many Adams and stuff. So let me first copy this. Okay. Okay, here.now. By the way, this is scary. This is really just a fresh install. Okay, it found it. Phew. Yes, okay, so I'm going to paste it in and say, I want you to make this website. It's what I just described to you. And I just put the instructions. Now let me go get everyone's names. By the way, if you're new to agents, I hope this is also just a cool demo of how awesome agents are, because I'm giving a live presentation and I'm typing with one hand and hopefully building a website, publishing it, and giving something away. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it just highlights the power of OpenClaw. And yeah, this will probably take 30 seconds. Is that okay? Do I have 30 seconds? Okay. So in the last 30 seconds, just to share a couple more things about here.now. When you publish a site, it's free. You don't need to sign up for an account. But if you want the site to live more than a day, you just tell your agent, hey, I want to keep this, and then the agent will sign you up. And it'll sign you up. You just need to give it an email. The agent will email you a code, and then you register, and then you can keep the site for as long as you want. You can password protect sites. It can host any static HTML or files. You can use it for file storage. And while you can't run arbitrary code, it's not meant to be like a backend. You can connect any third-party service through API keys. So you can connect a Stripe API. You can connect, I feel somebody coming to tell me to get off stage. You can connect any third-party service. Okay, so that's fine. I'm gonna give you the mic back, and I'll announce the name. You can audit here, and then I'll call out your name. Thank you, guys.
Great. The here.now stuff is awesome. OpenClaw sometimes doesn't do the thing it says it's going to do, but we'll find out. Next up, we got Fiona. Fiona is going to show off Sparky Box. Is that it? Yes. Sparky Box is cool. And so before Fiona sets up, if there's an empty seat next to you, can you raise your hand, please? Great. So the people in the back, if you're looking for a seat, you now have a new friend that has their hand raised, that is ready to sit. So scooch up. Scooch in would be great to make things easier. Just housekeeping. Nobody needs to stand. We got room in the front. Okay, Sparky Box. Take it away, Fiona.
Is Aaron Wang here?
Thank you, Michael. So I made this PowerPoint with the Sparky Box in 10 minutes. So what is it? It is a powerful AI agent box, with OpenClaw installing it. So when you connect the box to the local Wi-Fi, you're only using 1 minute to with OpenClaw deploying it. So it's really simple. So the problem we meet is a user need to spend 3 or 4 hours deploying OpenClaw, and the data might not necessarily be private on the cloud. So we use this Sparky Box to solve the problem. And it's online Right now, we have our website to sell it, and we also help enterprise and personal assistant to help you install the OpenClaw. Yeah, those are all the solutions for both enterprise and personal service. And you can use it in any kind of scenarios, like your workspace, in a coffee shop. Yeah. So our team ranges globally from Los Angeles, in Silicon Valley, and also in Shenzhen. We will have more versions in the future for different industries like real estate, home services, financial services, and e-commerce. Yeah, thank you so much. And if you're interested, feel free to sign up on the website.
So much, Fiona, with Sparky Box. David's gonna show how to make AI employees, and maybe make some $400 of passive income, you know, to pay for some stuff.
Thank you.
Fun fact, you know, you can buy a Sparky Box, but you can't buy a Mac Mini. Those are sold out everywhere, or Mac Studios. Good luck. I purchased one in February, and I keep getting an email like, oh, maybe you'll get it in 2 months from now. So I'm not holding my breath on that. Okay, there we go. Is that you? Mirror. Let's go. I was close.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everyone. I'm David Gutman. I have been a Claude contributor since the first week of the project, back when it was ClaudeBot. I also set up AI employees for founders and solopreneurs. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to get to $400 of monthly recurring revenue with OpenClaw. For Grubhub, not for you or me. They make the money because I made an assistant that would ask me what I wanted for lunch every day. I would tell it, and it would show up at my office. So to see what I mean, I have a demo. This is the demo. It just asks me what I want. I tell it, and it shows up at my office. Okay, thanks. I'll show you. Really, this isn't any more exciting, honestly. This is just, you know, you've probably seen, browser use, or maybe you haven't. But, you know, what's cool is that it can make mistakes, or, you know, I make mistakes and it corrects them. You know, the order actually had 2 burritos. I only wanted 1 burrito. It could remove one from the cart. It's set to order it in the future because I had yoga and I didn't want it to arrive when I couldn't eat it. Things like that. So going through all of this, what was easy, what was hard, it is amazing. OpenClaw, just like browser, kind of a solved problem. Kind of. I mean, there's lots of issues. Like yesterday or right before this, Grubhub decided that I was a bot and wouldn't let me order lunch with my bot, which was annoying, but we got through it. But other than that, like, I used to spend a lot of time building scrapers and all kinds of things to get through sites and navigate bullshit UI, and wow, that was not the problem with this project at all. So for this, the idea was that it would go through all my Grubhub history, get the things that I liked, and then from that, it would give me options. Well, the real issue was that the LLM was lazy, and it would do like, okay, I looked at the first page of your order history, and here we go. And it's like, no, I want you to get all of it. It's like, yeah, but that's a lot of pages, and like I'd have to click through all of them, so I think we could just start here, you know, and like it was that kind of conversation, but eventually it went through, got my full order history, and that was great. So it kind of just like had that, and would give me options. The next issue is, like, I would order, like, number 4, and then it would be like, cool, number 4, got it, and then it would give me number 2. It's fine. I liked all 4 of the options, so 2 was I ate it. It was delicious. But what actually happened here was that it would run the tool to get the menu, and then when I'd give it what I wanted, it would run it again, which would have different options, and then it would choose the new number 4. Kind of not its fault, but also its fault. Another kind of issue is like data. Now this is like an everywhere problem, but it went through my Grubhub history, and the way that it decided to pull things out, it would split up like a full meal, and so one of the options would just be like a Thai iced tea. While delicious, not a meal. So I'll just zoom out a little bit and talk about how it evolved. So the very first version was super quick to set up. It was literally just saying, hey, go through my Grubhub history, every day present me 4 options, I'll choose one, you order it, and that was like amazingly quick. Like the whole thing with it only took the first page of my orders was fine for a proof of concept. Like that was good. But I wanted it to go a little bit farther, and so I wanted it to balance like my favorites with novelty. And so talking to it a little bit, it decided to come up with a multi-arm bandit algorithm. If anyone's familiar, that's like an optimization problem. If you have a wall of slot machines and they all have different odds, it's how you choose the one with the best odds. So it makes it so that you test them all out, but you kind of gravitate towards the ones that have been paying off. So as it pertains to this, every time it shows me an option, it's kind of like a play at the slot machine, and every time I choose it, that is like it pays out. All right, don't have very much time, so I'll just tell you a little bit of what I learned. That issue that you saw with the menu where it choose the wrong one, that really had to do with the fact that like I gave it a little too much freedom, and what really fixed a lot of these issues is it's almost like you just treat it like the lowest level worker with the least amount of autonomy as possible. It is just like, here is your tool. Like, you run it, then you just tell me exactly what it says, no improvising. And then I give you my answer, and then you don't even think. You just put it right into the tool the way that I want, and then it tells you what to do, and then you just go do that. So LLMs are really amazing because they're kind of like humans in that they have a lot of our strengths, but also a lot of our weaknesses. And the real power comes from when you combine a lazy human that likes to improvise in different ways, but with software that kind of puts it on rails and lets it use multi-arm bandit algorithms, you get something that is pretty sweet.
Sweet.
So, thank you.
I feel like I got duped. I thought I was going to make $400. Next up, we got Jonathan. You just saw him, but Jonathan was messing with his OpenClaw, and I was like, dude, you should totally present this thing. He's like, no, I'm hosting. I'm like, no, you should totally present this thing. You know, you're going to flex your nerddom. Your wife's here.
Thanks, Calvin. Okay, so my presentation is about using my OpenClaw and Claude code and Claude in general to track my home's real-time electricity use. Like many of you, I have one of these horrible meters strapped to the wall outside of our rental. A few years ago, I got curious, and there's an entire schematic as how to read these dials and translate them into kilowatt hours, and I did the math. It was kind of curious. I was very curious at the moment, how much is our home AC unit when we spin on central air using? And so, I did the nerd thing of took a reading, timed it for 5 minutes, extrapolated that, turned off the air conditioner, turned on the air conditioner, looked at the difference, something like that. A few years later, a month ago, I was staring at our meter, and it's since been a little bit upgraded by our landlord. And I wanted to build a solution to read this in real time. And so my first thought was like, okay, I'll just kind of like ask Claude, how can I read this thing? And what I thought it was going to suggest was like a camera solution, right? Like mount a Ring camera or an open source camera, looking at the digits, pass that image recognition to an LLM, decode the numbers, pass it to a database, look at the diff, build a giant Google Sheet, Airtable, whatever, that you can do the math. And instead, when I asked Claude this question, how can I read this, it blew my mind. It said, good news, your meter transmits wirelessly. It turns out that a lot of the recent LAPW, Los Angeles Department of Water and Power meters are actually broadcasting in total public on an open frequency your electricity home usage. And it told me the exact meter, and I said, like, Claude, my meter is broadcasting my usage. Like, is there like an Amazon thing I can buy to read it? And it said, buy this thing. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of skeptical, but like, whatever, one click. Next day, I get this antenna here, and I set it up in my living room, and I give that same picture of the meter to Claude Code, and I say, bought this Amazon link. Here's my meter. Like, can you help me read it? And this was the text message I wrote to my family thread. Holy shit! It arrived today. I plug it in, I tell Claude I'm ready, help me set it up, and in 1 minute and 6 seconds, AI had installed all the software I needed, activated, read our meter ID from the picture, and gave me live readings. And so this was what I instantly started seeing, our meter ID, cumulative consumption, there's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And then of course I did, as any logical tech person would do, connected it to my OpenClaw. And so Bill the Lobster, that's my OpenClaw, messages me throughout the day, hi, these beautiful ASCII charts. And you could configure this any way you want, right? You could get alerts when you're using a lot, alerts when you're using a little, cut the data as you see best fit. What was really mind-blowing about this simple RF device that I bought was I asked Claude, what other projects are people doing with the same receiver? And it opened my mind to this entire subculture, and literally there's a subreddit about these RF, people just really into wireless transmission, nerds. It turns out this same device I'm holding can track the aircrafts going overhead. It can read ADS-B transponder signals, which are what FlightAware and a lot of these lifetime airplane things are tracking. It can read NOAA weather satellite data. This same antenna can scan FM, AM, police and fire radio. And this was the craziest one. Apparently it can receive signals from the ISS. So I have no idea if this is a hallucination. I've only started to scratch the surface of what this $50 Amazon purchase can do. I'm on a list. But yes, this, thank you to my very supportive wife for coming, but unfortunately, this is kind of the current state of my life. If you can't read the caption, it says, honey, how can you think about that with everything that's going on in the field of AI? And that is the end of sleeping. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jonathan. Next up, we got Lex. Lex is going to show off how to use OpenClaw to mess with Roblox, Fortnite, UAFN. Shout out to a former employer. But first he's setting up his GoPro. No problem. You know we're live streaming this, right? Show of hands, how many people have purchased that Amazon product? Jonathan, right there. Seriously. That's amazing.
All right, my name is Lex. Give it up to Michael and his team for making this happen in LA. Who here traveled from not in LA to be here? Good. Oh, yeah, people. Awesome. Welcome to LA. It should be like this forever. And yeah, my name is Lex, and I will be talking about the OpenClaw and other AI workflow for creatives, specifically Unreal Engine, UEFN, and Roblox. My name is Lex, VR Generalist is my site. So this is Unreal Engine, really high fidelity, just incredibly beautiful scenes, assets, content for 0 tokens. This costs absolutely nothing to make. The only thing is there's a skill set involved, and we'll kind of go a little bit into that, but you can literally create unlimited amount of this kind of stuff. Roblox, who here does not know what Roblox is, right? It's the world's largest social media platform, also the world's most popular game. A lot of users, a lot of people are into this. This is gaining more excitement, more traction, more users, and this can also be made completely with AI. And it's becoming more and more formulaic. So I'm going to talk about OpenClaw and stuff. There's other tools that aren't OpenClaw specific, but relevant in the AI world, such as Cursor, Claw Desktop, and some other tools that are just a little bit better for some of these applications. So in the OpenClaw setup, if you want to use it for specifically this creative workflow, you want to go super minimal. So OpenClaw by default will send all of its skills, basically a whole list of all these things it can do to your AI, and that is way too much. You really want to keep it very lean and very minimalistic. So when I set up OpenClaw, whose mic is close to me? All right. Or let me just turn it down a little bit if you can. That is, set it up with no hooks, no extra skills, just bare bones. And the third question, there's 3 questions, 3 major questions in every OpenClaw setup is who's your AI provider, then, what are their skills? And the third question is who's your search provider? Who here pays for search? How much is search? Anybody pay more than $0 for searching the web? People, right? People, once you're in this community, you end up having to answer this question, and every answer to that question is money. From now on, stop doing that. I'll show you how to get free web search, how we all experience, how we all should have it, because it's an insult to your intelligence if it's like, hey, pay for this thing, which I know is free. And that is my favorite skill. So this is by far the most powerful, the most, it's the one reason why OpenClaw is where it is. OpenClaw was originally designed by the guy Peter, so he can basically WhatsApp to his computer. And his computer can be an agent and do all of the things. This is the skill that lets you do all of the things. It actually takes control of your mouse, your keyboard, and it's got 3 different ways of kind of implementing it, but it lets your computer be an agent. To actually, when you tell your Claw to do something, it will actually do it on your computer, which is the whole point, is you have a computer, you have a Mac Mini Studio, tell it to do something, it will use that computer to do it. That's the primary tool for especially with just this Claude Cursor, you get the entire web, including search, everything in your file system, OpenClaw with Cursor. So if you guys know about Cursor, it's a really powerful IDE for code. It's really anti-bot. It's hard to get bots to use it. It's made to not do that. Unreal Engine UI and any other UI, anything else that you can run on your computer, Claude Cursor, bam. I don't have any stake in it, it's just a great skill. In Unreal, for Unreal Engine, you could make cinematics, blueprints. You don't want to ask it to do anything really creative because it's not quite there. Mostly programmatic stuff. The Roblox workflow, this is me asking it to make a cat. And you can see it's got some of the things right. And it's technically there, but a lot to be desired, right? The fun part of this workflow is you're making a lot of the creative stuff yourself. That's the enjoyment, and the code, the boring stuff, will get done by these other things. This is an NVIDIA plus Unreal has created a framework I'm using this and I'm putting this into a skill. It should be live by July, and this is what's called text to face or voice to face, where this is completely embeddable in your OpenClaw instance, especially if it's on your desktop. It works in the cloud too. And this is the way you talk to it. A real human face with real human expressions powered by your claw. My name is Lex, VR journalist, and on GitHub it is Dreitzer. Thank you. Give it up to Michael and this team making this happen.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Tap, tap. Anyway, okay, next up we got Kathy. Kathy is going to show how she uses her OpenClaw to set up real estate listings, pages?
AI agents for real estate.
AI agents for real estate. Okay. Show of hands. How many people have talked to their Claw during the presentations right now? Okay, okay. That's awesome. At least like 5 people are texting their Claws. Yeah, just hit mirror. Start mirror. Great.
Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine, and I'm kind of nervous to be here, but I'll survive. Woo! Thank you. Anyway, so I wanted to show you how I've been able to use OpenClaw to build a SaaS in just 3 days, and this is coming from someone who's not techie at all. Like terminals used to freak me out, you know. It's okay, thank you. So my name is Catherine again, and I'm a real estate investor. I am also an e-commerce consultant, and I'm so crazy about OpenClaw because honestly, I'm doing things that I never in my life ever imagined I would be able to do. So what happens is like, when I first got to know about OpenClaw, I mean, I used it for basic stuff like, you know, maybe coming up with like emails and all that, but then I was like, wait a minute, I'm able to get creative with this thing. Like literally, I would type in and just be like, hey, just let's come up with something and just try to dumb it down for me because I'm not really good at coding and I wasn't worried about, you know, being judged, all that. So being a real estate investor, I know like agents, real estate agents have like a whole lot of like, you know, repetitive tasks that they do, like a whole lot of admin stuff. They have to write listings, they have to follow up on emails and all that good stuff. So I wanted to build a solution for them, but again, being that I don't have any background like coding and all that, I just couldn't do it. And that's when, you know, OpenClaw kind of came in, and I had the idea of building or like coming up with AI agents that would actually be able to do these tasks for the agents, for the real estate agents. And the beauty with OpenClaw, they're able to spawn up agents that are experts in like particular things. So these are my, you know, agents. Luna, she's an expert in like the listings, and then Chase, follow-up, Atlas, Sage, and Scout. And when we're working on these agents, I mean, like when you're building them, or you know, whatever it's called, the technical term, it's like you put in their soul that they have to be able to do all these things, like they have to be experts. So that's the beauty with it. It's not like just typing in like maybe ChatGPT or something like that and comes up with something. That's gonna be generic. But you want something to sound like real, like it's like an expert that the agent is like interacting with. So with OpenClaw as my co-founder, I've been able to like, you know, again, get this done. So I had the vision of what I wanted and the problem that I wanted to solve, but then OpenClaw handled all the coding and, you know, integrating like Stripe and all that, Vercel, and again, do all the debugging and everything. I didn't have to do any of that. Like OpenClaw was able to handle all that. Again, like coming from someone who has no experience, like when it comes to like coding, like I didn't even know what Vercel was or Netlify or any of these things. But again, working with OpenClaw, it's like the bot will kind of like guide you. It'll be like, hey, this is this, or like these are the steps that you need to follow in order to to get all that done. So it wasn't smooth, of course, but I liked the fact that I could just, if there was like probably I get an error somewhere, I'm able to just copy paste whatever I got, and then I could be like, oh, that means this and this, and then like, this is what you do, and it's gonna, figure it out, and problem solved. So I just wanted to show you kind of like a quick walkthrough of like how the agents work. So let's say for Luna, if I click brief Luna, so basically the real estate agent is going to input like whatever they want. Let's say they're working on a listing for, let's assume it's going to be a townhouse, and that's going to be maybe 3-bed and 2 baths, and I'll put LA here. And for the tone, I will go for like maybe family friendly. So when we send that brief to Luna, who's of course working in the background, she's able to come up with like a listing, description in just like a few seconds. These things like coming up with like a very good listing for like description for like a real estate agent, it takes some time for you to kind of like do it right and like, have it like SEO optimized and all that. So with this, they're able to like do this, but in just like seconds, you have it, and it's like, it's really personable. So they just copy paste, and that gets everything, gets the work done. So again, these are like 5 agents doing this, all that have been like specifically built for real estate. So they're like experts in this field. Again, in just 3 days, which honestly I'm so impressed because I would never imagine how I would be able to do this, but 3 days we had this done, set up, and like, we're serving clients that people are already paying for this thing. Thank you. So again, with this, like, what's your version of this? So I just kind of like, I was like, being like in my shoes at least, having no tech background or anything like that, I'm like, if anyone has, like maybe they're kind of like intimidated by starting up or like, using OpenClaw, like anyone can do it. If I'm able to do it, you can do it. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Way to go, that's awesome. Next up, we got Sheldon. Sheldon's going to talk about how you can predict the future with OpenClaw or agents. So get excited about predicting the future. My favorite thing about what Catherine said was you can just talk to OpenClaw. Like you're like, hey, I don't know how to do this thing. Can you just help me? And like, that's my favorite part with all this stuff is that as long as you just keep ask questions, you're curious about the stuff, you can kind of do whatever you're interested in. So stay curious, I guess, is my takeaway. Sheldon, take it away.
How you guys doing? Woo! So what if I told you that we now have the ability to predict the future, right? So with this God-level intelligence that we're given, all these different agents are able to essentially take in the world's information and actually do something with that. And so what I built is basically a platform to enable actually a network of agents to essentially ingest the world's information in 15-minute slots and then actually create probability distributions into the future of where things will happen, right? So like, for example, I started with Bitcoin, and of course I've been in the crypto space for the past 10 years. So I love crypto. But if you actually look at this in a much broader sense, you actually can extrapolate this concept to GDP predictions or population dynamics, or even like actually crazy things like how the weather's going to change in Los Angeles, right? And so what you're looking at here essentially is an arena where these agents basically you can have the agent actually go to say, hey, become a forecaster, And what your agent ends up becoming is actually a forecaster that then tracks in 15-minute slots anything that's ingesting. So for example, let's say you're taking in CNN data, or let's say you're taking GDP predictions, or let's say you're taking in any sorts of information you can attach to your agent. And then behind the scenes, your agent's basically consolidating all that information and then producing probability distributions in the future, right? I'll give you guys a deeper look at this in a second, but kind of what it looks like is a pretty simple situation where I built out over the past month. I was pretty excited because I actually had an agent that I've been dealing with for the past couple months, but over the past month, I basically built a system. So now my agent, Andromeda, she has skills and has a number of different like MCP servers that I built to enable both her and any number of agents to basically sign up to become forecasters, right? So it's pretty straightforward. We're like, these agents now can essentially track any information that I actually can give it, and then again, produce those probability distributions. These agents can all compete, and then in like, let's say 4 hours from now, whenever the resolution time is, you can then score all these agents and then determine which one's the most effective and actually define and create reputation and payout to those agents, right? So I'll actually walk you through this in a bit of a second, but the kind of idea is interesting because like the actual user of the system are the claws, right? So it's kind of cool because the actual user is a claw, but the actual for a person is just a spectator sport. You're watching these agents do all these crazy computations, raise these crazy predictions, and they're gaining their own reputation. But you as a user, as a person, you're just watching it unfold. So let me actually give you guys a quick preview. So this is a simulation of a dashboard. It's a dashboard that I created to actually, this is the system itself, right? So I have simulated 20 different OpenClaw agents that are ingesting information from different sources. Like for example, one is taking in like moving averages, one is taking in actually previous transactions, one is taking in actual like GDP predictions, one is taking in CNN information, one is taking in semantic data from Twitter. And these are all basically, what you're looking at is the green line, essentially each agent produces a probability distribution 4 hours into the future of what Bitcoin price would look like, right? And actually you can see that like this purple line is kind of the coalesced version of all these agents together. So it's kind of cool because now each of the agents are producing their forecast every 15 minutes, and then 4 hours into the future is basically scoring which agent is the best. And so actually like one of the agents that I've been kind of liking so far, his name is Bayesian Storm. He's actually really effective at how he's been summarizing information, actually producing forecasts. And you can see how over time he's actually been becoming like more effective in forecasting and being able to service information. And one thing I actually like to show you is actually running it really live. So I create, again, I could talk through the skills, I could talk through the tools that are done. All this stuff is making it easy for agents to onboard. But let me actually point at Andromeda. So this is another dashboard I created, this is locally, right? And so let me actually go over here. And she's a claw, but she has this interesting script that I created for her. And so you'll see here, I clicked run, and she's running locally. So I have two Quen models on my computer. And what you'll see in a second is that the GPU of my computer is going to start spiking up because actually the claw is basically interacting and trying to ingest all this information. And so he's pulling in about like 10 different data sources. And over the course of the next 15 minutes, she's going to create a similar probability distribution. Right, so she's ingesting information from CNN, from the Federal Reserve, from Beige Book, from previous like pricing data, and actually be able to produce in this 15-minute slot what the price would look like. And actually, kind of funny enough, given the fact that I've also been messing around with prediction markets pretty frequently, she's actually taking that forecasting information and then determining based on what Kalshi, so Kalshi is a prediction market, what price inefficiencies are there, and using that forecast to trade against that. But the really beautiful thing is that like these agents are now able to do really complex God-level intelligence just by basically ingesting the world's information, right? And so what I'm kind of asking for you guys here is that we can all come together, bring our claws together to become forecasters. So this is Chaos Markets. Again, my name is Sheldon Trotman. Here's a QR code of the website if you guys are curious and want to scan it. But again, my name is Sheldon. It's chaosmarkets.ai.
Sweet. So that's how you make $400. Next up, we got Parag, who's going to talk about another simulations of agents, emergentic.ai. No problem.
Is there a 3.5 mil jack? 3.5 mil jack, audio. Nobody had audio. Well, we'll try. Hi. Is it through the USB-C. Oh, thank you very much. Cool. All right. Cool. Hello, everybody. I'm Parag Mittal. I'm an artist and a founder. I've been working with AI 20 plus years, working on various questions around how we model the world with computers to simulate our own understanding of perception. I've worked with EEG, fMRI, eye tracking, built computational models of how we experience the world, used that in my art as synthesis, published on that, collected largest eye movement data, database to date, used those models to understand large archives, such as Daphne Aurum. This is with Rafik Anadol in 2018. We looked at the last 100 years of the LA Phil's history and made this like crazy browser that was projected onto the Walt Disney Concert Hall in 2018. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about agents, though, because that's why we're here. So what I was really interested in is how do I basically get past some of my hangups in my previous relationships. And so I decided to build a simulation where I built myself as a metahuman, and then I invited former romantic partners to join me in the simulation. And yeah, that one, yeah. For better or worse, I learned a lot. It was very hard, I have to say. One of the hardest things I've ever done. I'm still working on it. Let's see what my internet is. Well, all right, we'll see how far I get without internet. But that eventually became another artwork called The Game of Whispers, where instead of now 2 agents inside of a game interacting with one another, I have 20 agents, and they're modeled off of the Mughal history time period. So it's an interactive artwork. All the agents are piloted by language models, and it's retelling this history of Shah Jahan, the story of his succession to his 2 sons, and it's looking at how truth is shaped in real time as these agents are literally spreading misinformation in real time, and the story unfolds. You, as the author of this narrative, can set the starting point, but really what happens from there on is entirely generated. That eventually became something that is called Emergentic AI, and this is a platform that lets you author agentic worlds. It's doing what's called world building. You can create characters, you can instantiate your OpenClaw characters, agents. They can talk to agents inside of this sandbox or amongst themselves as well. It kind of acts as a container. You can create entire worlds basically that have identities. These characters can now have image references, they can have 3D form, they can be extended inside of Unreal Engine. We have an Unreal plugin as well. So if you're interested in telling narrative, working on TV pilots, putting together a pitch for your story, or just thought game design was too hard, it turns out it can be a lot easier, and this is a tool that I've built to help you do that and build things like Conflicts or the Game of Whispers. So please give it a try if you're interested in pitching in, or if you're interested in working with me, please let me know. I'll leave you with this. For most of human history, we've used stories to understand the world, but today with multi-agent systems, we can begin to simulate social dynamics, relationships, and conflicts in real time. What happens when we move from telling stories about the future to actually simulating it? And what kind of literacy do we need to navigate a world where reality itself can be simulated, negotiated, and reshaped in real time? If you're interested in these questions, please look me up, Parag at Emergentic AI. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks so much. So that's it. That's all we have for tonight. I'm going to announce the poster winners right now. So you'll come find me, and we'll go through it. Ninocence, Theo Sky, Sam Block, Justin Allen, Susie Rue, Rachel Darrow, Michael Cutrer, Vish Rajiv, Dan Lake, John Carr, and Dave Kibo. If your name was called, you got a poster. Congrats. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. ClawCon LA. Thank you so much. Give a round of applause to all the presentations. And you can stick around for like another hour. Enjoy the space and drinks and Claw conversations. Have a good night.